Hello, my friend. I'm so excited to dive into this video for you on what Saturn in Aries means for you. So this is your Saturn in Aries horoscope. I am super excited. Watch for your rising and sun sign first. That's going to give you a lot more juicy information. And you can also check this for your moon sign, for a stellium you have. Yet just know that it's going to be the most accurate for your rising sign, and then you can see some similar themes for your sun sign and other signs. So let's just talk a little bit about what Saturn in Aries will mean in terms of general themes for everyone. Saturn is quite uncomfortable in the sign of Aries. This is really important to note because traditionally Saturn is in fall in the sign of Aries. This just means that Aries is very uncomfortable slowing down. Saturn is the planet of restrictions, boundaries, hard work, dedication, long-term growth, slow progress. Saturn can make us very uncomfortable. Aries is a sign that really loves fast movement. Aries wants to get things done. It wants to get things started. It's ruled by Mars. This is really important to note because Aries is very impatient. So Saturn is going to slow you down. Saturn is going to want you to take your time. And that's why things can be a little bit more frustrating in the sign of Aries. Now, I did make a whole podcast episode on this and I did go into that. So make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. But let's just start off with your horoscopes, starting off with Aries risings and Aries suns. Aries, this is big for you. This is huge. This is going to affect you the most out of everyone. Saturn in your sign, I'm not going to lie, it's going to feel a bit frustrating. It will be worth it long term. Okay? So it will be worth it long term. Saturn wants you to really focus on your body, what will make you feel the most yourself, how are you learning self-discipline, how are you learning to step it up when it comes to being a leader, when it comes to managing other people potentially. This could be something that comes into fruition for you with Saturn in your sign. Saturn will be in your first house. This means that you're going to have a lot of focus around learning more about yourself, putting yourself first, setting boundaries with other people, and this can feel very hard. You're going to have to slow down a bit, and I know you don't like that. However, Saturn in your first house is helping you with crafting this integrity around who do you want to be? What is your dream version of yourself? You're most likely going to focus more so on the physical body first, and then you're going to focus more on self-reflection, self-growth in the sense of who do I want to be? What does it take in terms of the practical actions to be this person? And also, how do I step it up and see myself in terms of a leader position in some form? You're trying to master who you are with Saturn in your sign. So I do see you potentially getting a new workout routine, taking working out more seriously. This doesn't have to be an intense workout. This could be running, this could be jogging, or doing something like yoga, or doing something that is testing you in terms of your abilities, challenging you in a good way. I do see you really focused on your health. This can cause a little bit of challenge when it comes to your health in terms of you trying to restrict things from your diet, potentially seeing what feels better for your body, seeing what that can potentially look like. Perhaps you cut, I don't know, dairy out of your diet or gluten, and you're just trying to test things out to see what feels better for you. So I do feel you putting some restriction in terms of this, trying to figure out, okay, what feels best for me? You could also be decluttering your wardrobe during this time, wanting to do something a bit more minimalistic when it comes to your wardrobe or I kind of see this as you trying to get very professional attire during this time too. I know Saturn's going to be here for quite some time. I'm going to leave the exact dates down below. It is moving into Aries on May 25th, 2025. It will then stay here until September 1st, 2025. It will retrograde back for the end of 2025, and then it will return back to Aries in 2026. Now, I will say Saturn in your sign, this is one of the main reasons why you're the main character of 2025, and you will continue to be a main character in 2026. So this is you taking on more responsibility. This can be really, really good. Okay, I want to really state this. This can be really, really good in terms of getting more responsibility at work, perhaps getting into a manager position, or really seeing yourself in a new light in regards to this. However, this can still feel a little bit like, okay, you're feeling restricted in terms of expressing yourself in some form. Maybe you feel like you can't be the same version of yourself as you used to be. You're taking things a lot more seriously now. You're taking yourself very seriously, and this can be really helpful. However, it can feel a little bit more somber. It can feel as though, okay, this isn't as fun. I'm sorry to say that. It's not as fun. However, the more you're able to structure your schedule, you're able to structure what you need to put in place when it comes to taking care of your body, when it comes to taking care of your mind, when it comes to taking care of, okay, what am I learning about the person I need to become? What are the daily things that they do every day? For example, if your dream self is very fit, or your dream self is very magnetic, or your dream self is just very creative, this can be a sign where you're going to take that very seriously. Let's say you're trying to be an artist. You're going to really try to shift your mindset of, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to practice this daily, because those small steps every day is going to help you reach your goals, right? Saturn wants you to structure and plan ahead. The more you're able to do this, the better it's going to be for you. Try not to get too impatient with the rewards that Saturn can bring. This will potentially test you. I will say this most definitely will test you. Yet, it's going to be a good challenge for you to see yourself in a new light, to take your healing work more seriously as well. You've already been going through a healing journey since 2019 with Chiron in your sign. Chiron is the asteroid known as the wounded healer. So you've been going through this deep, deep healing journey from your past wounds around your sense of worthiness. Now, with Neptune in your sign and Saturn in your sign, you are taking things seriously and just telling yourself, no, I am going to take my sense of worthiness more seriously. Maybe perhaps you're trying to give yourself affirmations daily, or doing overnight affirmations, which I have a free video on overnight affirmations if you want to check that out. I'll leave a link to that if that helps you in terms of reprogramming your subconscious mind. Yet, I want you to take Saturn in your sign as a good thing, because after Saturn leaves your sign, you're going to feel this relief, but you're going to be really accomplished, and you're going to be proud of the hard work and dedication Saturn is going to bring you. So this is exciting. This is exciting. Okay, so I want you to see it that way. I did pull you a card. You got the Two of Wands reverse. I do think Saturn in your sign, you're trying to let go of being in two places at once. This just means that perhaps you're getting more serious about setting more intentions around, okay, maybe you want to work out every day, or you just want to go for a walk every day, or you've been so wishy-washy around making plans and not following through. this is you following through. This is you getting more focused and following through. So I do really love this card for you. It's going to feel a little bit more freeing. You're not going to feel like you're in two places at once. So this looks exciting. I am really, really happy with this card for you. You also got slow change. So again, it's not going to change overnight. This is a slow building process for you. Keep this in mind. Very exciting still, but just know that change might not happen overnight, but you're going to see this 1% increase of being better every day. The more you set that intention, the more you follow through, the more you do the work. So I really hope this helps, Aries. If you want to dive deeper into how Saturn could potentially be self-sabotaging you based on your birth chart, I have opened up my waitlist for my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. You can get on that list to save 50% off of my Astrology Foundations course if you want to learn to become your own astrologer and read your birth chart. You'll have my support, you'll have my help with live Q&As. It's so good. Honestly, the breakthroughs my students have had after taking that course has been so astonishing. I've loved seeing their growth. I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. All right, Taurus risings and Taurus suns. Saturn in Aries is affecting your 12th house. Now, this, I will say, is going to be challenging. It's going to be challenging, but it's going to be worth it for you. You are going to get really serious with Saturn in Aries when it comes to taking care of your mental health, getting in touch with your spirituality, breaking generational cycles, trying to set boundaries when it comes to taking on the collective energy, trying to also figure out what would bring you more peace. You're going to really dive into in what ways have you been self-sabotaging yourself. The 12th house is the house of undoing, meaning that there are some things we do subconsciously without realizing, and that is where it shows up in the 12th house. So with Saturn transiting your 12th house when it is in Aries, you could become more aware of more issues that are taking place. This could get you a bit trapped in your mind, or you could feel a little bit more isolated during this time. However, this is just more so about recognizing what are you doing in terms of making this happen. Are you planning those hangouts with friends, or have you been ignoring their texts? Have you been doing meditation every day, or have you been forgetting or putting it off or procrastinating? Doing the things that will help your mental health is really, really important with Saturn in Aries. This ultimately is going to be so beneficial for you long term. Just take note of this. It will be really, really helpful. Saturn in Aries for you is going to make you want to also set more boundaries when it comes to, okay, what generational cycles are no longer something I want to continue. You're going to get super aware of this. You're also in a place where you can get more in touch with your spirituality. Maybe you want to do more yoga. Maybe you want to do more overnight affirmations. Maybe you want to do something that really helps you reprogram your subconscious mind to see which limiting beliefs have been holding you back and what do you need to change in terms of your perspective. This is some really deep healing work. I do want to preface that. So doing something that's very active, like somatic healing, dancing it out, doing a workout, that can actually be really, really beneficial for your mental health with Saturn in this area of life for you. Keep this in mind. This is a long process. Saturn will be in Aries from May 25th to September 1st, 2025. It will then retrograde back into Pisces, and then it will go back into Aries in 2026. I'll leave the exact dates down below for you to be aware of. I want to pull you some cards to also share how else this is going to affect you. Ooh, okay, Taurus, you got the Wheel of Fortune. So I think you're going to study something very intensely with Saturn and Aries. I do think you're going to study the mind in particularly, and also the subconscious mind. But I also see this as expect the unexpected. Also, these are really cycles that can be a bit unpredictable, but whatever you can do to track patterns for yourself, to know what patterns you get yourself into, that's the message I'm really hearing with this. So may this be a mindset perspective that you get stuck in, or a limiting belief you get stuck in. This is the card to break free from that. So that is very exciting, but I do see you studying something very intensely in terms of Saturn and Aries. So this is a good time for that. Maybe you need more time for yourself. The 12th house is also the house of isolation. So I do think you could be self-isolating because you might need more time to protect your energy, to recharge. That makes sense too. But you're going to come out of this in such a powerful way. I do want to state that. You also got the card practice. So I do think you're going to get really, really focused on practicing something in your life. May this be for work, may this be studying something, may this be just taking care of yourself in a really nourishing way. So keep at this. Just know that we need time to practice. Saturn is all about practicing and that dedication and hard work. I do think you're going to also set some boundaries with others around your mental health, of what people do you need to protect your energy around? What people have negative beliefs that are projecting onto you that you need to just say no to or distance yourself from? I do see those as really, really big themes for you that can come up. This is going to be worth it for you though, because the more you do this, you're going to protect your peace. You're going to feel this new sense of peace that you've never felt before if you put in the work for this. And that is very, very exciting. So I really hope this helps, Taurus. I really hope it helps. Let me know if it resonates down below. And if you want to learn astrology, if you want to learn how Saturn could be self-sabotaging you in your birth chart, I have relaunched my Astrology Foundations course. You can get on the wait list. It's not public just yet, but you can get on the wait list to save 50% off for a limited time. And honestly, this is the course for you if you want to become your own astrologer and use the skill set of astrology for the rest of your life to improve your relationships, your career, your finances, your family patterns. This is the course for you. So I'll leave a link to that if you're interested, if you're curious, down below. And you also get live support with me on live Q&As. So it's honestly super, super helpful. You can practice reading birth charts. It's so much fun. I'll leave a link to that down below. Thank you again for watching. Sending you lots of love. Take care. All right, Gemini risings and Gemini suns. Saturn in your 11th house in the sign of Aries. This is really interesting. Saturn in Aries is going to really impact your community, your networks, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. This is really important. This is going to be really, really helpful for you long term. You are going to get more serious about your dreams. Perhaps you are trying to really create a long-term plan for yourself. Maybe you want to get more serious about social media and putting yourself online. This is a possibility with the 11th house themes. You could also just be in a place where you want to find more of this community that really understands you, that really helps you feel connected, but you want a community that you can come back to again and again. You want to take community more seriously, or even just your friendships. I do see this as you could potentially let go of a friendship group or a community that no longer aligns for you. You could potentially let go of a dream that you feel just isn't in the stars for you just now anymore. You might not feel that spark as you once did. this is a hard decision, yet it's you getting really, really focused around what are you actually very serious about? How can you become a leader in this space too with Saturn and Aries? And how can you really see the benefits of leading a community, leading a group of people, or finding a community that really resonates with you? I do see you trying to really work out and set more boundaries when it comes to this as well. Maybe you're setting boundaries with your social media consumption. Maybe you're setting boundaries with certain friends that aren't believing in your dreams. Maybe you're setting boundaries with a community that you just have to maybe see once in a while, maybe once in a blue moon. It's not as consistent as it once was. This is ultimately going to be really, really helpful for you. Saturn in this area of life for you also wants you to not only dream big, but also be realistic with your dreams. So maybe you are someone who sets big goals and aspirations, but now you're realizing, actually, for me to do this, I need to take small steps every day to reach these dreams. I need to take action and actually feel like I can implement this in my daily routine for me to achieve everything that's possible for me. This is a major theme with Saturn in this area of life for you. This is ultimately very, very exciting. Okay, I know it can be a bit challenging. It can still feel a little bit hard. However, Saturn in this area of life can actually still be really, really beneficial. Maybe you are showing up to protests, to things that you really, really care about. Maybe you are in a place where you also want to get serious about the income you're making from your career, and you're trying to figure out, how can you do this? What would be the best source of income? How do you focus on this? This is also a possibility. Ultimately, I do think you're going to really step it up in terms of being a leader in some space, either with a group of friends, either within a community space, or you are trying to get really serious about the person you want to become in the near future. All right, Gemini, the card I pulled for you is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a brand new opportunity. This is exciting. You will be presented with a brand new opportunity during this time. Saturn will be in Aries from May 25th to September 1st, 2025. It will retrograde back into the sign of Pisces after this, and then it will come back into the sign of Aries in 2026. I'm going to put the exact dates down below for you. Yet with this card, I do think this is a good opportunity for you to make more money. Potentially you get into this manager role or position, or you get to be in a place where you're taking your finances very seriously and you're seeing more of these benefits in some form, or you're saving in a different way and you're seeing the rewards of this. You also got the card Coming Together, which I love. So I do think this is going to be a good opportunity for you to meet either a new group of friends that are a bit more serious about anything that you're aspiring to get into, maybe your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. Perhaps this is also just finding a group of friends that feel very solid, that are very reliable, that are very consistent. But also, I kind of see this like as a run club, for example, maybe going to the gym and having a community around there. This could also just be something when it comes to anything that is very active with the sign, with Saturn being in Aries. Yet I also see this as potentially just anything that you're very, very passionate about. So I love this card. I do think you're going to see more connection with this, yet you will have to say goodbye to some people. This is still letting go of people that are no longer aligned so that you can call in more of your soul family. I really hope this helps, Gemini risings and Gemini suns. If you want to dive deeper and actually join an astrology and art community to manifest during new moons and full moons, I'm mentioning this to you based on where Saturn in Aries will be for you, but you can check out the waitlist for the Moon Sign Creative Community down below if that intrigues you. And if you want to learn astrology, you could check out my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. I'm relaunching this course. I also have a wait list for this as well. I'll leave it down below. If you want to learn astrology, if you want to become your own astrologer, this is the course for you. Thank you so much for watching, friend. Just remember, the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care. All right, Cancer risings and Cancer suns. Saturn in Aries is really going to affect your career sector. This is big for you. Saturn in Aries wants you to get very disciplined when it comes to how you are seen. You could be really working towards becoming a manager or becoming recognized in your industry during this time. Saturn will be in Aries from May 25th to September 1st, 2025, and then it'll come back into Aries in 2026. I'm going to leave the exact dates down below for you. Yet during this time, this is going to be really exciting for you. You are honestly going to really take your career to the next level with this. This can potentially bring in a little bit of challenges when it comes to a manager and you. If you have a manager, this could also bring in some challenges when it comes to an authority figure or a mentor. Keep this in mind. Maybe perhaps you feel like they're being a bit more restrictive or they're feeling a bit more serious. Keep this in mind. However, this is honestly you taking on more responsibility when it comes to your career. This is also you trying to understand what legacy do you want to leave behind in this world. So you're going to get more serious when it comes to this, and you're going to try to set more boundaries when it comes to work as well. You could also be putting in more work and not seeing the exact results that you want to see right away. This is honestly going to take some time for you. This is you setting more intentions. This is you putting in a lot of hard work and dedication when it comes to this role, whichever job you're in. However, this will pay off long term. I do want you to remind yourself of this. This will pay off long term if you stay consistent, if you have that dedication, if you really set those intentions and continue on what you truly, truly want for yourself. I also see this as you potentially getting more seen in your career. Maybe you get more interviews or podcast episodes or people shouting you out. This is also a huge possibility that can be really, really helpful. This could also be you trying to work on your fear of being seen. I do want to point that out because with Saturn in this area of life, people could find you a bit more serious, or people could try to see that you're trying to portray a role that is a bit more disciplined and a bit more structured. So maybe you're showing your process of your business a bit more. Maybe perhaps you have an outline of your offers on your website if you have your own business, or perhaps you're being seen in a public role in some form. Now, I do want to mention that your career itself can feel a little bit more challenging. You could just feel like you're moving slower. You could feel like things are delayed in terms of being seen, or perhaps things are delayed in terms of what you want to accomplish. Try not to take this to heart. You will get the benefits of this later on, yet stay consistent with what you're really passionate about. I do see you stepping it up and being a leader with this energy. So that in itself is very, very exciting for you. Also, if you do not have a career at this time, this could just be you potentially getting into some challenges with someone you feel is a mentor or someone in a leadership role, yet you could potentially have to set more boundaries with them. This could also just be you trying to figure out, if it's not in regards to your career, how are you being portrayed to the public? May this be on social media? May this be the legacy you're leaving behind for your children? May this be what are you leaving behind for your friends? Or what goals do you just want to accomplish during this time? Now, the card I pulled for you is the Ace of Cups. I love this card for you. I do think this is going to be a brand new emotional new beginning for you with Saturn and Aries in your 10th house. I think you're going to feel very fulfilled. I do think you're going to feel like there's this emotional pull for you to step it up in the best possible way. And this is actually very exciting, right? I want to say this. This is very, very exciting for you. So I do feel like you're gaining this new emotional excitement around the work you're doing or how you want to be portrayed. I do think this is going to be you feeling a bit more professional, or just you feeling like I can lead other people, I can mentor other people, I can help other people. So I love this energy for you, Cancer. You also got being yourself is sacred. So I love this card. I do think you're going to get very dedicated towards learning more about yourself with Saturn and Aries. Everyone, I will say, is getting very dedicated in learning more about who they are with Saturn and Aries. So keep this in mind, but this is such a beautiful reminder for you. If you want to dive deeper into how Saturn could be self-sabotaging you in your birth chart, what you need to be aware of, but what you're also trying to master this lifetime, then you can check out my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. I have a waitlist available. If you are interested in learning astrology with me, this is perfect for you. This is you becoming your own astrologer, if that interests you, or you just want to have the skill set of reading birth charts for the rest of your life. So I'll leave a link to that down below. If you join the waitlist, you get a 50% off discount. So stay tuned for that, join the list, and thank you so much for watching, friend. Just remember the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care. All right, Leo risings and Leo suns. Saturn in Aries is actually going to be really beneficial for you. I say this because Saturn has been in your 8th house for quite some time, and the 8th house can feel a bit uncomfortable. You could have got a lot that came up for you when it came to grief, when it came to shared resources, investments, loans, but also intimacy and vulnerability. This ultimately has been beneficial for you in terms of setting boundaries, in terms of setting yourself apart from other people's problems and what you need to focus on, but also doing some deep healing when it comes to the past, in terms of past hurt and pain and subconscious work. Now, with Saturn in Aries in your 9th house, this is you getting very serious about learning something new. You could potentially be teaching someone something new during this time. You could potentially go back to school. You can get very disciplined and just more excited about the knowledge you're receiving. I do see you trying to get very disciplined and setting boundaries when it comes to school, when it comes to presentations, when it comes to recording. The 9th house can have a lot of themes around publishing and higher education, but also law and legal matters. Now, because you are a fire sign, Saturn will actually be in a trine to your sun sign or rising sign based on your chart if you have any Leo placements in terms of this. So this can be really helpful. You could just feel like you're taking more action that is disciplined, that you feel like you're putting in the hard work, the dedication, and you're seeing more benefits of this. This looks really exciting. This looks very lovely. So I am very excited for you, Leo. So some other themes that can come up for you during this time are around travel. So maybe you're taking travel more seriously. Maybe you're making a new itinerary, or you're trying to figure out how to save to travel more, or trying to figure out maybe even potentially setting limits to how much you travel. That's also a possibility. Yet I do think this is you potentially figuring out how to take these dreams of yours and learn something new about different cultures and cultivate this over this time period. Saturn will be in Aries from May 25th to September 1st, 2025. It will retrograde back into Pisces after this time, and then it'll come back into Aries in 2026. I'm going to put the exact dates down below for you. Yet I really love this energy for you. Honestly, out of quite a few of the signs, Saturn in Aries is going to really benefit you because you're also going to really take your passions more seriously, especially when it comes to speaking. Maybe perhaps you get very serious about becoming a public speaker or trying to present your work. This could also be you learning and cultivating a voice, perhaps publishing a book or starting a podcast. This is also a possibility. This is also you taking your spirituality more seriously. Maybe perhaps you go to a yoga class per week and you're finding that it really helps you connect to something bigger than yourself. or perhaps you're trying to shift your perspective and see the bigger picture of life in a new way. You're trying to really focus on the long term when it comes to this. So this is ultimately going to feel, I would say, a lot better for you than most signs. I will put that out there. So that's exciting for you. This is a great opportunity. With Saturn in Aries for you, this is a great opportunity to think about what travel plans you want for yourself. What do you want to pursue in terms of your goals when it comes to education, maybe going back to school, taking more courses, or potentially teaching in a new way, whatever that looks like for you. That is going to be super, super helpful. But also, how can you connect to your spirituality where you feel focused, where you feel disciplined, where you feel consistent? That's going to change the game for you. Just take note that you will have to set boundaries in this area of life. When it comes to legal matters, just know that the process can feel a little bit slow. Based on your chart, I still see that you will have some benefits to Saturn and Aries in this area of life for you. However, the process can just feel very, very slow and frustrating. Keep this in mind. Yet overall, I really, really love this energy for you, Leo. So I just pulled you some cards and you got the Six of Swords. So with this, you're leaving a difficult situation behind. Okay, as a Leo sun, I'm super, super excited for this energy, honestly. So I'm super excited for you. This is going to be really beneficial for you because you will start to see why you had to plan ahead, why you had to do the hard work. And I do think you're going to see at least some benefits from this energy. So you're leaving a hard, difficult situation behind. Again, try not to get in your head around this. That's going to be really, really important to do. Also, try and remind yourself that you're worthy of your dreams. You're worthy of traveling. You're worthy of doing the things you love. Remind yourself of this. So again, saying goodbye to something that has been weighing on you, you're going to feel more free when it comes to this. You also got the card Reflect. So I love this card for you. This is you just reflecting on the amount of growth that took place for you. I do think you are going to be a bit more reflective on your perspective on life in the world, on philosophy, perhaps just figuring out what spirituality means to you personally and how that shows up for you. So I do feel like this makes sense in terms of reflection. I love this for you, Leo. If you want to learn astrology, if you want to become your own astrologer and read your own birth chart, check out my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. I currently have a waitlist for it. I'll leave it down below. Anyone who signs up for the waitlist will get a 50% off discount code. So go check that out if you want to learn how to read your birth chart, if you want to learn how to read other people's birth charts, and you want to have this skill set for the rest of your life. This is big. So I'll leave a link to that down below if you want to learn from me and get live Q&A support with this as well. So I'm super, super excited for that. Thank you so much for watching. Just remember the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care. All right, Virgo risings and Virgo suns. Saturn in Aries is going to affect your 8th house. And this is really, really pivotal in you learning to set boundaries with other people's problems, also getting more disciplined and structured when it comes to your investments, loans, shared resources, getting very serious about the healing work you're doing and also reprogramming the subconscious mind, what that looks like for you, letting go of the past, but also healing through any fears when it comes to vulnerability and intimacy. This is going to be a very important transit for you. This will be healing. However, I will say it can feel hard. I will let you know this. And when I look at how this is affecting you, the more you're able to set boundaries of protecting your energy, what problems are you taking on that are not yours, that you can let go of, that's going to be really, really helpful for you to do right now. Saturn in Aries in your 8th house is you getting very, very serious about What traumas from the past are still affecting you now? How can you break these cycles? How can you heal through them? During this time, you could potentially get a therapist, you could potentially get a tarot reader or an astrologer that you see more regularly. You can get a mentor that helps you with subconscious reprogramming of what limiting beliefs are holding you back. How can you let go of a fixed mindset and try and shift your perspective of what's possible for you? This is going to be super, super important for you during this time. I also see you trying to get very serious about your investments and the money you earn. Perhaps you're also setting boundaries with a partner around finances, what that looks like for you. Maybe perhaps you get a joint bank account with someone. However, you're trying to figure out how to navigate that and what boundaries you have concerning how you spend that money. This could also look like you trying to figure out how to pay for insurance, or perhaps getting serious about a will in the family. Having really hard, difficult conversations around this can be present during this time. If you have past grief in any way from someone who has passed on, during this time, you could be confronted with trying to feel your grief, trying to figure out, okay, why is this coming up? How can you heal through it? And what can you do for yourself to move through that energy? How can you let go of the past? How can you let go of grudges? How can you let go of anything that feels very stuck and hurtful and feels like it's difficult to let go of? I do have some overnight affirmations on letting go. These are completely free. I'm going to leave a link to them down below, but these are great for you if you feel like there's something in your body that you need to release, that you need to let go of, if you need to forgive yourself, if you need to let go of the past. These are for you. I'll leave a link to those down below. I think they're going to be super helpful for you. Yet during this time, I also see you potentially getting more serious about maybe taking any investment courses or getting into real estate in any way. This could also be you trying to figure out how to confront any fears around intimacy, around sex, around vulnerability, what that looks like for you. Maybe you're trying to heal through this in some form, and also feeling what your boundaries are when it comes to this. Maybe not sharing certain things, but also figuring out which people you can share and be more open with. So the card I pulled for you is the Seven of Pentacles. This is you a bit frustrated with putting in so much work and maybe not seeing the benefits of this fully. You could feel like you are so focused on this. You've been working super, super hard. I will say this is about perspective. This is about knowing that this will benefit you long term. This is you looking at the bigger picture of things. Try not to focus on what is not going right. Shift your perspective of what is working, knowing that things might take some time. It can take some time to heal. It is a process. Whatever you can do to create systems for yourself when it comes to your healing practice, that is going to be so important for you to do right now. Maybe that is a regular yoga class. Maybe that is a regular astrology class or a regular dance class. Whatever that is, to move some energy from your body. I do see you doing this work. It will be rewarded. Just know and witness and celebrate how far you've come. Celebrate the wins you currently have. That's going to be so important for you to do right now. You also got Cultivate Stillness. I love this card for you. Whatever you can do to find more peace for yourself. I do see this for you as slowing down in some way. This is you reminding yourself to stay present, focus on the here and now. That's going to help so much with whatever you're moving through. Ultimately, this will be beneficial for you. The healing work you're doing now is going to pay off long term. Get excited for that. Please take note of that. But I do see this as you trying to find that peace for yourself, trying to find and confront all these fears, confront everything that's been happening for you, process them, move through them, and step up into a new era. So I'm excited for you, Virgo. If you want to dive deeper into how Saturn could be self-sabotaging you based on your specific birth chart, I am relaunching my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. I will have a 50% off discount code for the waitlist of this course for a limited time. I'll leave a link to that down below. If you want to learn more about reading birth charts, reading your specific birth chart, becoming your own astrologer, but also reading other people's birth charts too, and having this skill set for the rest of your life, this is your course. So I'll leave a link to that if you're interested down below. And there are live Q&As with me if you want my help, if you want my support. I'm super, super excited for this. Thank you so much for watching, friend. Just remember, the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care. All right, Libra risings and Libra suns. I am super, super excited for you for Saturn and Aries. So I will say this can be a bit challenging for your one-on-one relationships because Saturn and Aries is going to affect your personal relationships. May this be a romantic relationship, business partnership, friendship, anyone you meet with one-on-one. This is pivotal for you because you're going to get more serious about the people you spend time around. You're going to get more serious when it comes to dating. If you are in a partnership, you're trying to figure out, is this relationship worth it for the long term? Is this relationship reliable? Are they consistent? Are they serious? Are they showing up for me? Especially a romantic relationship. So I do see you trying to filter more people out. If you are currently dating someone, this can be really beneficial because it's going to show you, okay, is this my person? Yes, there might be some challenges. However, this could also look like potentially getting engaged or married. This is you really seeing who is in your corner. Who do you want to spend time around? What does this look like for you? So really big emphasis on personal relationships for you. Now, when it comes to friendships or business partnerships, for friends, you're trying to figure out which friends are there for you, which friends are showing up for you, and which ones do you have to say goodbye to. This is going to be pivotal. You could face a bit more of these conflicting challenges with certain friends during this time. Keep this in mind. However, this is going to show you who do you know is always going to be there for you. What does this look like to you? And then when this comes to business partnerships, this can be really beneficial with setting long-term collaborations. This is beneficial for getting more longer contracts when it comes to certain businesses, when it comes to certain business collaborations, when it comes to one-on-one relationships. If you're a therapist, for example, maybe this is more long-term clients. Yeah, you could also potentially have to turn people away from certain offers in your business because you're trying to be more serious with the people you take on, the people you're trying to help in terms of your personal time and space. Really good to consider. I think you're also going to get very serious about hiring a mentor or a coach in some capacity. Potentially, you're going to want to work with someone one-on-one to go and face any limiting beliefs or fears that have been coming up for you. This is a good time. So if you don't have a therapist, this might be the time you get a therapist. If you don't have an astrologer, this might be the time you get an astrologer. If you don't have a coach, this might be the time you get a coach. Keep this in mind. If you do want one-on-one support with your business using astrology, check out my Boldest You mentorship program, because as a Libra rising, I just relaunched this and this might really, really interest you. So leave a link to that down below if you're interested in working with me one-on-one as a mentor to help you grow your business using astrology, brand strategy, mindset work, energetic work, and social media strategy. Now, Saturn will be here from May 25th to September 1st, 2025. It will then retrograde back into Pisces, and then it will come back into the sign of Aries in 2026, moving forward. I'll leave the exact dates for you down below. Yet, I want you to see this as a really good experience for you to set more boundaries and to know when to say no to people. With Libra placements, it can be really difficult to set those boundaries. It can be hard because you could want to people please. Try to not do this for sure. Take time, get disciplined. This is going to be really, really helpful for you. Yet, I do think you're going to have to set more boundaries with certain people and say goodbye to certain friendships, say goodbye to overdoing things in relationships. If you're the one who constantly gives in relationships, if you're the one constantly putting all this energy, I do think you're going to take a step back during this time and just see, okay, I need to do this differently now. I need to get serious. I need to only prioritize people who are going to show up for me. This is honestly so beneficial for you. Yet it can feel challenging because it's in your opposite sign. Okay, and Saturn does not do well here. So keep this in mind. I do feel like you're going to handle this really, really well. Yet, again, definitely based on your specific birth chart, but please know this is going to be so beneficial for you to see who's actually there for you, who is consistent, who is reliable, who is grounded for you. That's going to be really good to keep in mind. I also want to say with Saturn and Aries, this could also be you hiring a personal trainer specifically because Aries is such an active sign. So seeing someone where you're doing some physical activity or finding a friend that you can do certain activities with, that's going to feel really good to do right now. The card I pulled for you is the Seven of Swords reverse. So I feel like you're letting go of some secrets with this energy. So potentially you had your guard up with someone, or you're feeling as though you had to not share everything with someone. I do feel like you have to be more honest when it comes to your relationships. And I know it's more so figuring out what information to share with someone, but I see this more so as you taking a step back and having more conversations that can feel hard, that can feel difficult, but will benefit you long term. Potentially, if this is dating, maybe having those difficult conversations of what are you looking for in a partner? What do you actually want in this relationship? Where do you see this going? I really see this with this card. So I do feel like you're going to share some secrets. You're going to get more honest. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's going to feel freeing for you. It's going to feel so, so freeing for you. You also got begin again. So I love this. This is still exciting. This is still a fresh new start. This is a new energy. Neptune is also in this area of life for you with Neptune and Aries. So you're still getting these dreamy, creative people coming into your life that are really focused on the healing work. So I love this for you. So even though you're getting serious about your partnerships, you still are meeting some very, very interesting people who are doing some deep healing work. And I do think this is going to help you bring in some more serious people into your life, some more consistent people into your life. So I really hope this helps, Libra. I really hope it helps. If you want to dive deeper into learning astrology, I am relaunching my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. This is super, super exciting because honestly, I love this course so much. My students have gotten some amazing results from this course. If you want to use the skill set of astrology for the rest of your life and become your own astrologer, this is the course for you. You can get 50% off the course if you join the waitlist down below before a certain date. So check out the links for that down below. Get on the list and learn astrology from me. Thank you for watching. Sending you so much love. All right, Scorpio risings and Scorpio suns. Saturn in Aries is going to affect an area of life for you when it comes to your day-to-day routine, health, and schedule. You could get really, really serious during this time to take care of your mental health, to take care of your physical health, to take care of what daily habits do you want to implement? How can you show up for them consistently? What does this look like? You're going to set more time boundaries during this time. So you could be trying to schedule things in a different way. You could be really trying to figure out how to optimize your schedule. You could be trying to figure out how can you better take care of your health, maybe having a consistent workout routine or going to a yoga class weekly or doing a dance class weekly. This can be really, really visible right now. I will say you could also potentially set more boundaries when it comes to coworkers during this time. So you could take on a bit more responsibility when it comes to your day job. You're trying to figure out how to set those boundaries with your day job though at the same time. So you might be taking on a new role in your day job, and then you're trying to figure out, okay, this is a lot of work. How can I filter this through and make sure I'm still having some time for myself? What does this look like? How can you still make time for hobbies? How can you make time for your other relationships? This is going to be really, really important for you. This is honestly going to be so helpful for you. I think you're also going to figure out, okay, how can I meal prep differently? Or what can I do to get very serious about the work I'm doing? Maybe you're trying to figure out, actually, I love filming content on one day instead of the other, or maybe I want to take calls on a certain day. You're trying to do different systems and structures to be more efficient, to get more time for yourself, to get more energy for yourself. This could also be a time when you hire a personal trainer because of Saturn being in this area of life for you. So this would be really, really beneficial for you because you can take your health a lot more seriously. This could also look like a nutritionist in some way. Maybe you're trying to figure out what diet best suits you, what foods to eat, which ones do you need to let go of. This is a possibility. But I do feel like you're trying to figure out, okay, in what ways have I not been prioritizing my daily habits that I know are going to make me feel better, that I know are worth it, that I know I need to be more disciplined around? Saturn is going to give you this push. And I will say, Saturn is uncomfortable in the sign of Aries, so this can still feel a little bit challenging. It can still feel like you're juggling things a little bit. However, this will pay off for you long term. You are going to feel like, okay, you're going to feel like this is actually so beneficial for you in terms of what you want for yourself, in terms of the life you're trying to cultivate for yourself, because basically your life is made up of the daily habits you do every day and how this sets you up for success. So this is honestly going to pay off long term. It can still feel hard to implement a new habit. It can still feel hard to do these things. However, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so worth it for you. The card I pulled for you is the 10 of Cups. I love this card. I love this card for you. This is you getting a new perspective of what you actually want in terms of your future. Maybe you're seeing that you can actually build the daily routine that you love for yourself right now. This could also be you learning through the daily habits, through where you go every day to do work, where you meet with coworkers. What are your bigger dreams and aspirations, and how are you already doing a lot of the things you already previously dreamt of? This is a really happy card. I think you're going to get a new perspective on how you are showing up for your dreams and what work you're putting into that. What does this look like in your everyday life? You also got make the best out of it. So whatever you can do to know that, yes, it can feel a bit challenging. Yes, it can feel a little bit difficult, but it will be worth it. It will be worth it. Make the best out of the situation. I say this, and some coworkers can be a little bit more intense during this time. So you might have to set more boundaries with them, especially in terms of work, and how you see them after hours. So keep this in mind. If you want to dive deeper into your birth chart, I am relaunching my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. This is for you if you want to become your own astrologer and read your birth chart and learn the skill of this for the rest of your life. Using the skill of astrology for your relationships, career, and family patterns. This is the perfect course for you if you want to really use astrology to your benefit long term. So I do have a discount code if you sign up for the waitlist down below. It's super, super exciting, and you get some Q&A time with me if you want my support and help through this. Thank you so much for watching, friend. Sending you so much love. All right, Sagittarius risings and Sagittarius suns. Saturn in Aries is actually going to be really beneficial for you. I'm saying this because Saturn will make a trine to your sign. So this is really helpful. This is very supportive. With this energy, you could feel as though it's easier for you to put in the hard work around your passions, especially when it relates to how you see yourself and your identity. This is very exciting for you. Saturn will be moving into your 5th house though. And I will say, you're going to get very serious around your dating life, around your joy, around your creativity and self-expression, but also your children. So, for example, if you don't have children, this could just be you really focused on how you want to create something for yourself. If you have a business, this could be you getting very serious about your business. If you've been dating, you're also trying to really get serious about the type of people you date, filtering people through, saying goodbye to people that you're not vibing with, that you feel like there's no future with. Saturn wants you to get very, very good at setting boundaries. Saturn wants you to get very serious and disciplined when it comes to your creative expression in this area of life. So this could be you doing more creative practices for yourself. Maybe showing up online on social media, or creating videos, or going to an art class, or really trying to prioritize how you express yourself. This can still feel a little bit restrictive. You could still feel like it's a bit harder for you to do this. So my best advice for you with this energy is to find either classes or a community that allow you to show up and be present when you're doing these practices. Because the more structure that is involved, the better it will be for you. If you are currently dating someone, this could also be you trying to figure out, is this person good for me long term? What boundaries do I need to set with them? But also, am I very serious about them? What do I need in a partner? What does this look like? This is a very exciting energy. I also see this as you trying to figure out, okay, how can I take my creativity more seriously? What have I been restricting myself from? I do see you benefiting from this energy a lot more than other signs because you are a fire sign and you have this trine to Saturn. So I do think whatever work you're putting out there, you're just going to feel this easy flow of energy. So I love this. This is super beneficial. Of course, this is also dependent on your specific birth chart, but please keep this in mind. When this relates to children, if you want children during this time, this could just be you trying to get on a schedule in terms of this. If you have children, this could be you trying to really set new rules for your children, trying to show up for your children, showing them by example, but then also helping them and mentoring them and teaching them during this time. So I pulled you a card for this energy and you got the 2 of Cups. So this energy is you really coming together with another person. And I do feel like you're going to connect with more people, but this is more so you learning a lot about yourself through the people you date, through who you connect with, who you have fun with. This is a new opportunity for you to understand how important it is in terms of showing up authentically in relationships, showing up in a way with integrity, but also with a responsibility for your own joy and happiness. Yet I do really love this card. This could also be creative collaborations. This could also be classes you go to, but I also see this as you learning so much about yourself through this new transition and how you are taking ownership and action towards yourself when it comes to your authenticity. You also got anything you want is out there somewhere, so this is beautiful. Remind yourself that whatever you want is possible for you. Don't limit yourself. Saturn here, I will say, it can feel a bit harder to feel that joy fully. So you have to get into a practice of it. You have to get into a state of practicing that joy, of seeing that joy every day, of focusing on that joy. Remind yourself, whatever you want is there for you. So I really hope this helps, Sagittarius. If you want to learn more about your birth chart and you want to actually study astrology and learn how to read your birth chart and become your own astrologer, you can check out my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. This is for you if you want a stable foundation of reading birth charts so that you can have the skill set for the rest of your life. The course will be 50% off for anyone on the wait list. So I'll leave a link to that down below if you want to join the wait list for when it's released. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love. All right, Capricorn risings and Capricorn suns. Saturn in Aries is going to affect an area of life for you when it comes to your home and family. This can feel a little bit challenging. I'm not going to lie. Saturn, again, is not comfortable in the sign of Aries. However, this is going to help you set more boundaries when it comes to your family members. This is going to help you get more serious about where you call your home. You could potentially move during this time or make plans to move if you feel like your home is not your forever home. You could want to invest in real estate during this time. This is also a possibility. Or you could be setting boundaries with someone at home. May this be a roommate, may this be a partner. That is also a possibility. Saturn in this area of life for you is kind of just digging up things from the past when it comes to your family patterns. You could be learning more about your family during this time. You could also be trying to figure out how you can show up for yourself and take responsibility and ownership for your family in a different way. This doesn't necessarily mean you are taking care of them, yet this is a possibility. Yet it's also you figuring out how much energy are you taking on from other people when it comes to your family. What is your responsibility? How can you make sure you are still protecting yourself and your energy? And how can you figure out what you want as a family long term? What kind of family do you want to build for yourself and cultivate for yourself? These are the questions you're going to ask yourself during this time. Now, Saturn here can still feel as though it's a bit challenging with a potential figure in your life. May this be a mother figure or a father figure. Most likely a father figure. This can just be someone who raised you that can feel like there's a little bit more tension or a bit more sensitivity with them. This could also look like you trying to get very serious about doing some internal, deep reflective work on yourself in the best possible way, of knowing when you need your space, knowing when you need to retreat and make your home a sanctuary, and just do some really introspective work for yourself. May this be through psychology books or astrology courses or reading or getting lost in a different world. The fourth house, which is really interesting, wants us to really see, who are you when no one is watching? Saturn in Aries is helping you choose who you want to be. This is going to be a really good uprooting of anything that has been holding you back when it comes to what you felt was stable and grounded from your home life. And this could be reflected by certain patterns in terms of family dynamics that you want to change. This could be reflected in terms of relationships and how they're kind of reflecting your family patterns. This can be reflected on, okay, I want to redecorate my home. I want to purge my home. I want to just make it a place where I feel very safe and grounded. So ultimately, this is going to be super beneficial for you, yet it is going to feel like work. It is going to feel hard. It will be worth it though. It will definitely be worth it for you though. The card I pulled for you is the Star card. I love this card for you. I think you're going to be more vulnerable with your family during this time, or you could feel like you are going your own path that's a bit different than what your family expected or what your family wanted. You're trying to embrace this though. This is also a card where you can cultivate what family looks like to you. So it doesn't have to be your biological family. This could be your friends. This could be your community. You're going to feel this energy even more so to really just form more connections with those people. I also see this as you just trying to stay focused on your life path, focused on the internal work you're doing for yourself, of who you are becoming, of who you want to be, and that's going to be so beneficial for you. Yet you could feel a little bit exposed, you could feel a bit raw. I will say that it's a very tender place. The fourth house is a very deep part of our charts, so just know it can feel a bit hard, but it will be worth it. You also got, you are always shifting. I love this. Just know you can change whenever you want, right? It's okay to grow. It's okay to reflect on who you once were, show them love, show them compassion. I also see this as you looking back on past versions of your childhood self and doing some really deep inner child healing. So I love this for you. This is you becoming the person you want to become. If you want to dive deeper as to what Saturn means in your specific birth chart, how it can kind of show you where you're self-sabotaging, but also how to read birth charts in general, I am relaunching my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. This is honestly my most pivotal course to transforming your life, to learn the skill set of astrology for the rest of your life. This is everything you need to know about reading a birth chart, how you can become your own astrologer, and how you can really use this to improve your relationships, your career, your finances, your family patterns. This is pivotal. I do have a waitlist for the course, so it's 50% off for anyone on the waitlist. If you join by a certain date, I'll leave a link to that down below. I can't wait to teach you more astrology. Thank you so much for watching, friend. Take care. All right, Aquarius risings and Aquarius suns. Saturn in Aries is going to be a pivotal time for you to get serious about your close circle of friends. Saturn in Aries will be in your third house, which has a lot of themes around your close friends, your siblings, but also your communication and what you're learning. So with Saturn in this area of life for you, you're going to get very disciplined and structured when it comes to any communication work you're doing. You're trying to create more systems when it comes to this. Maybe you're launching something or you have your own business and you're trying to promote your products through a marketing campaign. You might get very serious about email marketing, for example. Or you could be presenting more at work and doing more presentations at work. This is a huge possibility through webinars, through just presenting more of your findings or your wins, for example. This is also you trying to build more local community. Maybe you want to go to more local events, or maybe you want to host more events. This could also be a possibility where you're getting more serious around this area and you are trying to figure out how can you implement this into your schedule? How can you make this doable but fun? What boundaries you need to set for yourself when it comes to this so it doesn't take up too much of your time. This is a possibility. With Saturn in this area of life for you, you can potentially face some challenges when it comes to certain friends or siblings. You could feel like you need to put some boundaries up when it comes to close friends. Maybe you feel like you need to take your close friends circle a bit more seriously. Perhaps potentially you distance yourself from a friend, or you're trying to find friends that are very reliable and stable and grounded, who want similar things as you, who are passionate in the same way as you. If you have a sibling, again, this could still feel a little bit intense. You could just feel like there's a bit more of this contrast with you both. However, this is also you potentially seeing a sibling in a new light where they're taking on more responsibility, and this could help you get a new perspective on them. Ultimately, Saturn in this area of life for you wants you to learn more based on what you're studying, but then also what you're learning from your close circle friends. You are the people you spend the most time with. This is a really good reminder with Saturn in this area of life for you. So if you don't like certain traits that a friend has, see where you also have those traits. See what it's potentially highlighting for you. I did pull you some cards for what this means for you. You got the Strength card. So I love this card for you. This is reminding you that vulnerability, when it comes to your close friends, when it comes to the people closest to you, that is a form of strength. That is going to be rewarded in some way, even if they aren't your people. It's you expressing yourself, sharing your authenticity, whatever you can do to remind yourself that the more you're able to be gentle with yourself, the more you're able to share what is vulnerable for you, the more you're able to cultivate those close connections even more so. It's okay to be vulnerable. I do feel like it could be a bit challenging for you to do this with certain friends. And I do think this transit is going to teach you which friends do you feel more comfortable in sharing more of yourself with. You also got I am connected to the earth. So I love this card for you. Whatever you can do to get some grounding in, go to your local parks, go to your local beach if you have one, go to anywhere where you have some nature, because that's going to feel so replenishing for you to do. Take advantage of what your local community has to offer, especially with Saturn in this place in your chart. I will also say with Saturn in this area of life for you, you could potentially be mentoring someone during this time. May this be more so like a big brother or sister program, or you're trying to figure out how you can give back to your local community. So I do want to give you a heads up on that because this is a great way to use that energy. Thank you so much for watching, friend. If you want to learn how to become your own astrologer and learn how to read your birth chart, learn how to use astrology for the rest of your life when it comes to your relationships, your career patterns, your family patterns, how you earn money, these are pivotal for you. And I have created a course based on this to really understand the foundations of reading your birth chart. There's a waitlist for the course where you can get it for 50% off if you join the waitlist. I'll leave a link to that down below. But this is for you if you want my support in learning astrology, where you can go at your own pace, but then also get my support on live Q&As. My students have gotten such amazing, amazing results from this course, and they've read birth charts for other people as well. So if that interests you, you can check that out down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love. All right, Pisces risings and Pisces suns. Saturn in Aries is going to affect an area of life for you when it comes to your finances, your self-worth, and self-value. During this time, you could get very, very serious about saving, or potentially just getting very serious about how you use your money, how you spend your money, how you make your money. This could be a really big focus for you. You could also get very big into budgeting, and you could also really reflect on what material possessions do you own and what do you actually not need. This is actually really beneficial. So if you've been meaning to declutter your space, Saturn in this area of life wants you to really figure out what is actually useful for you long term. What do you actually need? And what do you not necessarily need to keep in your life? What's really interesting is Saturn in this area of life for you is also helping you cultivate more self-love and self-worth. So you could be doing some more deep healing work around how you see yourself, around how you see yourself as worthy of more, around feeling good enough. This is pivotal for you because this ultimately is helping you gain more of this responsibility when it comes to showing up for yourself, showing up for how you interpret yourself, how you see yourself, how you're talking to yourself. That can be a really big theme with Saturn in this area of life for you. I will say sometimes it can feel a little bit more challenging to make the certain amount of money that you want, or you could just feel like there's so much pressure and responsibility to making the amount of money you want during this time. Yet Saturn is teaching you to take responsibility for how you show up for your self-worth. May this be asking for a raise. May this be making sure you're not putting too much of your self-worth and self-value into the money you earn. This is going to be really, really big to consider. I do feel like you're going to be doing some really heavy mindset work around money during this time. And I also see you trying to just cultivate more self-love for yourself and taking responsibility for your happiness, taking responsibility for how you perceive your self-worth and self-value, and not letting other people's judgments affect you in any way. So ultimately, this is you cultivating better, healthier habits for yourself when it comes to your perception of your self-worth and self-value. Maybe this is you making sure you won't do certain things that you did in the past, certain habits that weren't beneficial for you. This could be you just learning to speak more kindly to yourself. So keep this in mind. A lot of money themes, but also themes around physical possessions and what you own can come up right now. The card I pulled for you is the Queen of Swords. I do think you're going to set a lot of boundaries with certain people in your life during this time, but then also with yourself. How you are speaking is really important right now. And I also see this as you really stepping it up in terms of your mindset of cultivating perhaps a practice for yourself to switch up your money mindset, to be in an abundance mindset and not from lack or scarcity. So the Queen of Swords wants you to get very, very clear about what you want. Keep this in mind. I do think this is going to be beneficial. The Queen of Swords is also a bit cold. So if you're talking to someone else, if you're hurt by what someone else has said, if you feel like it's a bit trickier to connect with someone, tell them what you want, but make sure you're saying it in a very kind, loving way. But it's okay to set boundaries. Remind yourself of that. It's okay. It's good to set boundaries. It's healthy to set boundaries. Remind yourself of this. You also got Plant a Seed and Wait. So I love this card. I think you're going to set some really good intentions around your self-worth, your self-value, what you will no longer do or put up with during this time. I do think you're going to see some themes around this come up. Maybe how you're treated by other people, maybe how much money you would take on for a certain job. This is you really setting the intentions of what you want to call into your life, of what deep healing work are you doing around your self-worth and self-value, especially when it comes to your inner child, especially when it comes to shadow work. And how can this be super, super beneficial for you around knowing your limits, knowing what boundaries to set in place, but then also to show yourself that love and grace. So I really hope this helped, Pisces. If you would like to learn astrology and learn how to read your birth chart, to become your own astrologer, and also learn how to read other people's birth charts, I am relaunching my Astrology Foundations course, Seen Secrets. This is for you if you want a stable, solid foundation in learning how to read a birth chart. If you want my support on this in terms of a live Q&A, but also you can learn how everything is connected in your birth chart, from your relationships, your family patterns, your career patterns. This is a life-changing course. I have a waitlist currently available for the course. If you sign up for the waitlist, you get 50% off. I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching, friend. Just remember, the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care.